With so much happening online now, it's a good time to practice solo improv. What is it and how do we do it? Back with Avish Parashar.
Yeah, so it's funny. Improv comedy is very much a group activity. Right now, depending when you're watching this, we're in the middle of the global pandemic. And, my whole business was improv. And I'd go do keynote speeches and I get volunteers on stage and play improv games with them and have an audience. And that completely went out the window. And so what I had to do to sort of innovate on my own, to apply my own teachings, what we've been talking about this week, is start figuring out how can I play these games all by myself. But what it's done is two things. Number one, it's been a good example of disruption and how I can use that to my advantage. Because I'm enjoying this, and I've got a whole slew of new offerings in mind that I'm developing just as a result of that. And if people want to see an example of this and get other free downloads real quick, you can go to dinghappens.com/Lisa. That's a page I put up for your viewers that has links. There's a link to my Facebook group where I've posted probably 30 different versions of me playing improv games by myself. So you can observe, plus YouTube videos. But the other thing for the audience is many people always have that little inkling, oh, I'd like to try improv. It looks like fun. I always thought I'd be good at it. But they don't have the time to go to a class. They don't have a class or a group in their area, or maybe they're just a little bit more shy or introverted, and they don't want to do a class and put themselves out there, be silly in front of others at first. So when you learn how to practice improv comedy solo, it takes all those things away. You can just be there by yourself in your bedroom, your office, and still get so many of the benefits. The creative expression, and if you've never done it, it's hard to understand. But to me, there's such like satisfaction and internal joy of creation, which is one of the reasons I love improv, because every time you improvise, you're just creating something. And you don't need to wait for your weekly class or, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Let me wait 6 months till the next opportunity comes. You can learn creativity, you can learn storytelling, you can be goofy and silly, you can have fun. So don't fit in the box of like, well, if I want to do improv, I have to take a class. Or if I want to do improv, I got to audition and get into a group. But I encourage you, just start creating and having fun. Don't wait for the opportunity to come to you. Create the opportunity and go do it.
And we also have to acknowledge that there's a physiological and emotional benefit to laughter, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there are times I'll be doing an improv game and I'll laugh out loud by myself, which is weird. You feel a little odd. And there are times I'm like, oh, I wish I recorded that because like that was funny. I would like to have shown that to other people.
I'm a voice actor, so a lot
For
of my
sure.
voiceover groups, we are always talking about the benefits of improv and how it loosens us up and it just makes us better performers, right? It is tapping into our creativity and kind of expanding our abilities. So I love it.
Yeah, it's great. And if I may share one final
Yeah.
benefit of
Mhm.
solo improv, there are skills you have to develop to do improv solo that you don't have to develop to do it with other partners because you don't have the crutch of other people helping you. So you got to figure out, how can I separate two different mindsets? How can I force myself to be creative without having someone else to play off of?
Now, who would you recommend solo improv for? And
Well,
can it work for the people like me who used to be terrified of improv?
yes, in fact, so people like you are one of the primary uh, groups that should do this, because if you're terrified of improv, you're probably even more terrified of doing improv in front of others. You can start learning and practicing the skills completely in the safety of your own home or room. So people who think improv would benefit them but are terrified of it or don't want to do it in front of others is number one. Number two is people who are interested in improv but they don't have the time, money, or access to a group or class. And number three is people who are already doing improv as part of a group or class, but want another way to keep working and developing their skills, a different approach. So I think those are three primary groups that would benefit from solo improv.
Fantastic. Is there anything else as we wrap up our series with you, Avish? Anything else you'd like to cover?
Uh, no, I think just going back to the mindset, like it's a crazy time, and whether you're doing solo improv or applying any of the things, just remember, like, just have fun. The more fun you're having, the easier all this stuff gets, and be willing to fail. Everyone stinks at first, so have fun and be willing to fail.
It's been so great having you here. We learned a lot and we got inspired. Yeah, Avish Parashar, great stuff from you. And I do hope everybody checks out your website and takes advantage of some of those free resources. So
Thank you, Lisa.